Well, hey there. Hope the summer has been awesome for you. We've had a busy one. We had a family reunion here, took six of the grandkids camping at the state park. And yeah, well, that was an adventure. We continued to do the pizza nights on Tuesday every week. And I tell you, the garden is flourishing. We've had more tomatoes than we have ever had. So we're closing in on fall here in the Pacific Northwest. So, again, hope everybody has had a wonderful summer season. This week, I want to talk about muscle overload. Really, that's referred to in the fitness industry, more specifically in the weightlifting community. And 5 years ago, when I was canceled out of my executive role, I decided I needed to start doing, I was feeling weak and I thought, okay, I'm going to go lift weights. And so I did that 3 times. I have been doing that 3 times a week for the last 5 years. And since COVID started, I moved at home. I was going to a gym and now I'm at home. Muscle overload is when you push beyond what you think you're capable of, push beyond what is comfortable in an effort to build the muscle. The muscle has to be stressed in order, I think they even call it tearing. It has to tear and then it builds and gets bigger. So that's what I've been doing. And huge change. There's a couple of things with the overload. You're giving it the max effort there in the moment. But what you notice for the next, well, even that day and sometimes the next day is you have very sore muscles. They are speaking to you and they're saying, "Whoa, wait a sec. That was a pretty heavy load. I'm not so sure that I'm happy." But then it settles down and you have your day of rest and you go at it again. And they might still be screaming after that second go, or third, or fifth, or 10th, right? But eventually they're happy. They're going, "Yeah, okay, I grew. I'm happy here." And then you have to make the decision to go back in and get uncomfortable again and increase the weights a little bit. So, Rhonda, what does this have to do with leadership? Well, your leadership muscle, it's something that you have to actively work at. You have to want and be willing to take on a little bit of pain in order to become really good. All these different skills that you're required to have as an effective transformational leader. Let's start with the People Gardener Principle framework. And we're going to start with the be interested, which is the first principle. If you take these 5 principles, get out some paper and start writing down what you're currently doing to express those principles, take action on those principles, what you believe about those principles, and then start adding components, things that are a little more challenging. That might be the action, or it might be the consistency of the action. It might be increasing the number of times you take that action in a day, a week, a month. What you're trying to accomplish here is to become really strong at all of these 5 principles so that you have a team of people that are performing at their best and they're happy. So if you go to the Be Interested app, you can get it on the App Store, the Apple App Store, or on Google. Go in there. It's kind of funky. I'm not sure why it's designed the way it is, but you need to sign up. And if you don't, you're going to get this, this pop-up thing that says you need to upgrade. And it's not like there's any money involved. This is part of the free part of the app. Just get in there, put your email in there so that you can get into the app, because the 25 ways to be interested is in there. And it's a fabulous starting point for you to build this muscle, which is the first principle of the People Gardener Principle framework. To be interested. How can you increase the times a day, the times a week, the different ways that you can be interested in the team that you lead? That's what you want. You want to do more. You got to put a little pressure on yourself. You got to make it a little uncomfortable. And we as humans, we kind of like just sitting in where it's comfortable. And it's hard for us to choose to make ourselves uncomfortable. That's not easy to do, but it's necessary. It's something that will pay dividends, unbelievable dividends down the road. Because what you're going to end up with is a business that has people in it who want to be there, who are happy to be there, and who are engaged and focused on their contribution in the role that they currently have. That's success to me. The other thing with the 5 principles, so you've got be interested, you have care, support, nurture, and recognize. Your skill level at all 5 of those is going to be different. Some of those are going to be easier to increase your capacity for than others. It's just like when I'm out in the garage doing my weights, it is far easier for me to increase significant capacity for my legs. Your quads are pretty big muscles. Your glutamus maximus is a pretty big muscle. So it's easier to add more weight there. Now, I was in a car accident and had a terrible whiplash. So anything over my head, sometimes it's just my hands. Like that's the amount of weight. But here I'm doing, the goblet squats with 30 pounds or 50 pounds, and it's fine. So don't expect that each of these are going to require the same amount of effort when you add something to it. So if you're an extrovert or somebody that's very happy chatting with people and interacting with people, the being interested and finding out about them and what they think and how they think and what's going on in their life and how they see their role here in the company. I mean, you can go on and on. That isn't going to be as big a lift for you. You're going to have to stretch yourself to find that place where you become uncomfortable. Whereas an introvert, somebody who prefers the background, that is going to be a huge lift. And anytime it's a huge lift, back it off into a smaller chunk. You are not going to grow this muscle overnight. And you're not going to grow it this week, this month. It takes time. My encouragement is do something that is sustainable. Don't have this great big, huge, grandiose effort and do it once, because that does not build the muscle. You need consistency over time. And yes, you want to push yourself. Yes, you want to make it uncomfortable. Yes, you want to cause yourself to be more creative. When you think about recognition, getting creative about how you do that, that's the building of the muscle. The nurturing, it's getting outside yourself and not being consumed with you, but finding out how you can help them do better, be better, enjoy their work better. So really, really take the time, break it all down, get it on the page, know all of these that are going to really push you forward and help you build that muscle because that's what you need to do. And again, get on the app. There's so much good stuff, if I do say so myself, free on the app that can help you build this muscles. There's some great videos on there. There's some wonderful books that can help you. You want to do it in a way that is sustainable. You don't want to make it that it's this miserable experience for yourself because then you'll quit and you don't want to quit. You want to build the muscle and just every day try to lift a little bit more than you did the day before. You know, I work out 3 times a week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and I have to have the rest days in between. And you may need rest days in between. You know, focus on this. And maybe it's a Monday, Wednesday, Friday schedule. Maybe it's a Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, because there's something that you do in your work on Saturday. You absolutely can build your leadership muscle and encourage you to just take it on, get uncomfortable, grow that muscle, and have this thriving team. That's it for this week. We'll talk to you again next week.